a Carnival cruise ship in here. Okay, my next guest. Made headlines. I'm headed to the buffet. La, la, la. All right, my next guest. Why? Why do I continue? Made headlines last month for marrying over 20 same-sex couples without a license in the village of New Paltz, New York. Please welcome the mayor of New Paltz, Jason West. All right. Some people may not be familiar with the whole story, so I'm going to start from the beginning and try and get to the facts here. You are 26 years old, very young to be a mayor. You yourself are not gay.
That's true.
But you were the first mayor to marry gay couples in New York. Why? What made you start doing this?
Well, New Paltz is a tolerant, real open-minded community. It's normal there. Your friends are gay, your neighbors are gay, the business owners are gay. It's not a big deal. So I ran as a Green Party candidate for office before, and I'm on record up to 4 years ago in favor of gay marriage. When I took office last June, I could marry couples. Some people approached me, and we had planned to have weddings in the summertime when the weather was nice. But given the president's announcement that he wants to use the Constitution to take away freedom,
and also maybe what's happening in Massachusetts and San Francisco are bringing this issue to the forefront, and you thought, what better time than now? Let's do this now.
It's been an inspirational movement that we decided it's our time to step up to the plate.
Now, your claim is that New York law doesn't prohibit same-sex marriage. Is that true?
My claim is that New York state law actually requires it. Our state constitution...
So I'm in violation of the law for being married to a woman.
That's the next step of the radical gay agenda, is mandatory gay marriages for everybody.
I'll do time, hard time.
Absolutely. Our state constitution requires that we don't discriminate. And the laws are gender neutral, and therefore it's our State Department of Health that's breaking the law.
Let me just hold on for a second. New York state laws are gender neutral, meaning they just say when two people get married. They don't say when a man marries a woman.
Right. In lots of states in the country, there's something called a Defense of Marriage Act, which says marriage is a union between a man and a woman. New York State doesn't have that.
When were those put in? Were those put in, they weren't put in when these original constitutions in these states were drawn up, were they? People then probably couldn't conceive of there being a different kind of marriage.
Yeah, and it would depend on the state. I think it's just the Christian right, the fundamentalist movement in this country has kind of marched through the states passing these. And there was a Defense of Marriage Act passed in Congress in '96 under Clinton and such that said, leave it to the states to define marriage.
Right.
New York is gender neutral.
You yourself performed, how many marriages again? Was it?
25 ceremonies.
25 ceremonies. You are charged with 19 counts of what's called solemnizing marriage without a license. Performing this solemn act but not having a license. Right. How serious is this? Could you go to jail for 20 years? What's going to happen here?
Technically, I think I could, but it would be ridiculous. What it is, it's a Class A misdemeanor, which is the exact equivalent of driving 20 miles over the speed limit. So they could try to send me to jail for speeding tickets, is basically what I got.
So this is points on your license, is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's points on my license, yeah.
Ah, hold on.
I think it's been
You've performed 30 gay marriages. Learn and slow down a little bit next time.
Absolutely.
You are, in addition to being the mayor of New Paltz, you are also a house painter and a puppeteer.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Mayor is not a full-time job?
No, part-time job in our village.
What kind of salary are you making as mayor?
$8 grand a year.
$8 grand, so you need to supplement that.
I like that reaction.
Yeah.
Move up to New Paltz.
When college kids are going, ooh, wow. When kids eating ramen pride and stealing records at Tower Records are giving you a hard time for your salary. So you paint houses on the side.
I paint houses basically full-time.
Full-time?
I've been painting since I was 15. And I work with a theater company called Arm of the Sea Theater. We basically do a lot of environmental education stuff in elementary schools.
Oh, that's the puppet wing of the operation.
Yeah.
That's a separate thing. There's a house painting business.
Right.
And then occasionally these are environmental puppets?
Yeah, the company does a lot of shows about the history and ecology of the Hudson River Valley.
Right.
So we do elementary schools, we teach them about the river, we teach them about their own history.
Is there a puppet, GE puppet that vomits PCPs into the Hudson?
That's a great, we do have a 20-foot tall death tower with a big GE logo on its chest.
Wait a minute, I'm realizing right now I probably shouldn't be talking about that.
Yeah. You think he's fired? I think you'll be getting the notice tomorrow. I'll get you a job in government. You
thank you. Get me in on that $8,000 a year action. I'm in good. Right now, there's someone, Bob Wright is in a tower somewhere petting a kitty. He must die. Dispose of him. Now, Are you going to continue with these ceremonies, or have you stopped for the time being?
I've stopped. I've got an injunction was levied against me by a judge, which is expected to be overturned quickly. For there to be an injunction, you need to prove immediate and irreparable harm.
Right.
I mean, there's a case to be made that marriage has caused immediate and irreparable harm, but it's not, I think, a compelling argument. And so
Trust me, it's compelling. Sorry, honey. So you couldn't, if I asked you right now to marry me to another man, you couldn't do it?
I might make an exception.
So if there was a man... Maybe now's not the time.
We'll talk later.
I understand that one of the people that you married insulted at the ceremony, insulted your clothes. Is that true?
Can you believe it? Yeah,
it's as nice as what I'm wearing.
Well,
we both look like we just walked out of the Sears men's room, you know?
Yeah. No, he was appalled at my suit. I got this new suit to perform the next round of weddings. And he loaned me these shoes and this tie, so I promised him I would wear it. But I heard,
so you married two men, and one of them then gave you a hard time about your clothes. That's like a nice thing.
Well, I've known them for a while. It's been a perpetual, disgust with my fashion abilities.
Right.
What it is.
Now, what about, of course, in Vegas, they have something where anyone can walk in and get married. That is not the case here in New Paltz, right? You don't do what's called walk-ins.
At least until we get the drive-through window at Village Hall built.
Right.
Yeah.
But for now, it's people, the people that you have married, you feel, are people that, these are committed relationships, these are going to last.
Absolutely.
These aren't sort of Britney Spears kind of nutty, oh, I'm sorry, that was goofy, what were we doing? These are, you're making sure that these are real, and what you feel, real long-term relationships.
Well, it's not my call to make, really.
Actually, in the Constitution of New Paltz, yes, that is your call. Yeah.
No, this isn't drive-through like Vegas.
Right.
There was actually I watched a friend's wedding video. They were married legally in Holland, my friends Charles and Maurice. And this pastor really hit the nail on the head. She said, marriage is the act of making public what's already written in two people's hearts. And if you'd been able to be there 2 weeks ago in these ceremonies, you would have seen that was true. The light in these eyes, the
all
love
kidding
for each
aside,
other.
you feel like these are good relationships.
And since the injunction's been put on me, local clergy have stepped up, and the weddings have continued every Saturday since in New Paltz.
Okay.
It's up to, I think, over 50 couples have been married in our village in the past 3 weeks.
The response that you've been receiving, what has it been?
Overwhelmingly positive.
Give us an idea. 60-40, 70-30?
10 to 1. 10 to 1 in favor.
Right.
And I mean, just the emails, I counted them. I got 1,200 in favor and 120 opposed, roughly. But I think in our community, the response has been overwhelmingly positive. At my arraignment, there were in our village of 6,000 people, there were 1,000 people out in support at my arraignment when I went to court, and I think 2 or 3 protesters, from what I was told.
But then later, 4,000 people were at the puppet show.
This is really all.
You can't. Puppets are popular.
We brought the puppets to the arraignment, is what it was.
Before we go, what are your political plans? Do you ever think bigger offices ahead in the future? Run for president someday?
Well, I'm 26. You have to be 35 to run for president, so maybe in 10 years. But I'm 1 year into a 3-year term as mayor. I plan to run for a second term. I'm happy being mayor in New Paltz. And that's as far as I'm thinking right now. Well,
this is, of course, a big story nationally. A lot of people are interested in this. And I know you're busy, but thank you for making the time to be here. Yeah, good to have you here. Mayor Jason West, everybody. We'll take a break when we come back to Allman Brothers Band. Stick around. Stay right here.